I don't know about you, but I could use a mimosa. And I could use at least one day to focus on positive things happening in the government. So, welcome to Thank Dem Thursday. I'm Loki, and this is your neighbor speaking. It's been 41 days of Trump, and it already feels like 4 years. So today, I'm going to pause from the protests, the rallies, the marches, the action meetings, the phone calls, and the endless red wave of Republican nausea to focus on a few positive things Democrats have recently done or have recently attempted to do. And I've asked a few of my neighbors to help. Over brunch, of course.
My name's Crystal, and this is your neighbor speaking.
Hi, Crystal.
My name's Vivian, and this is your neighbor speaking.
Hello, Vivian.
I'm Jeremy, and this is your neighbor speaking.
Hi, Jeremy.
This is your neighbor, Laura, speaking.
Hi, Laura.
I'm Sean, and this is your neighbor speaking.
Hello, Sean. You kill me. Welcome, neighbors. Now, before we start, I know some of you are probably thinking, why thank Dem? What have they done for us? Honey, the Democrats have done just about as much as a party can when they're buried in the sludge of majority opposition. And I'm not just talking about the last 2 months. I'm talking about the last 22 years. When it comes to Congress, we've barely had a blip of blue. Since 1995, the Democrats have only had a majority in the House or the Senate 4 times. If there is a swamp in Congress, the Republicans built it. Lord Dampnut and Puritan Pence are just the new scum floating on the top. And the Democrats are up to their necks in that mess, trying to pull us out. So how about we hold off on casting stones at the Democrats and help them get a foothold? If you've got a bad beef with Congress, look closer. I'm willing to bet you'll find a Republican holding the butcher knife. For instance, even those who actually understand how helpful the Affordable Care Act is, some of those folks still have some criticisms. But if you look at the history of the act, guess what? All those bad bits were inserted by the Republicans in an act of sabotage. All they care about is trying to keep a Democrat president from passing something that would be wildly popular and successful. Over and over, the Republicans break a thing. The Democrats try to fix it, the Republicans block them, and then they blame the Democrats for the thing being broken. Don't fall for it. And don't take my word for it. Read the platforms of the two parties. It will become screamingly apparent that the Democrats are the ones on the lookout for the people. And I mean all of us. While the Republicans are selling us out. But the Republicans, they've been in control of the legislative steering wheel, and they're steering this country straight off the cliff and into the greedy pie holes of billionaire gangsters. So, on Thursdays, thank a Democrat. Here's the assignment. Research and find an elected Democrat serving in Congress or your state legislature who has introduced a piece of legislation, or pushed for or spoken out in favor of an issue you care about, or who's just done something heroic, helpful, or rad. It can be someone local in your state government or someone national in D.C. It can even be something that a politician attempted, but it got shut down because, again, the Democrats can only work for us if we get them into positions of power. For instance, even though Betsy DeVos was confirmed as Secretary of Education, thanks to the bought and paid for votes of Republicans like Colorado Senator Cory Gardner, I was still inspired and moved by Senator Al Franken's speech on the Senate floor about why it was important not to confirm her. Wow. Look it up. Watch the video. That's a politician in government who knows stuff and who cares about us, about our schools. So, thank you, Senator Franken, Democratic U.S. Senator of Minnesota. Who else shall we thank?
So mine was a Kentucky state representative believed that a new law requiring women to have a medical consultation 24 hours before having an abortion smacked of sexism. So the lawmaker, Mary Louise Marzian, proposed a bill in the male-dominated House to drive home the point. Under the legislation, Ms. Marzian, a Democrat, men would have to navigate a series of obstacles before they could obtain erectile dysfunction drugs like Viagra. Each man would be required to have 2 doctor visits, a signed and dated letter from his spouse providing consent, and a sworn statement delivered with his hand on a Bible that he would use the drugs only to have sex with his spouse. Only married men would be eligible for the drugs. In a phone interview this week, Ms. Marzian said, "I thought if we're going to insert ourselves into women's most private healthcare decisions, then we should insert ourselves into men's most private healthcare decisions as well."
Thank you, Mary Lou Larzian, Democratic State Representative in Kentucky.
My field's domestic violence, and I have a friend who works at the Colorado Coalition Against Domestic Violence and the head of the legislative committee. So they're working on, and it passed our House, and it's on to the Senate, to support victims of domestic violence ability to break leases in the housing, domestic violence and stalking. And I would guess it probably includes sex assault too, because the two coalitions are very close. But so positive for Denver.
Thank you, Dominique Jackson, Democrat State Representative in Colorado.
What did you bring us, Sean?
So it's more fashion related and a little less politically driven, but relevant to people. Ashley Biden is making hoodies in America from American cotton, organic cotton, and then all the proceeds are going to targeted centers of poverty within America. And then, like, just certain officials, like priests, teachers, you know what I mean, are the ones that are dealing with where the proceeds go within that community. Ashley
Biden? Yeah.
And what does it say on the back?
Take that, Ivanka Trump.
Keep your hoods up.
Wait, say that again?
Keep your hoods up is like her tagline.
Okay.
For keeping neighborhoods up, and also kind of like a push about Trayvon, you know what I mean?
Not in Congress, Sean, but we'll take it because we miss Joe Biden, Democratic Vice President under Obama. Thanks, Joe, for raising up a rad daughter. Oh, and by the way, neighbors, in addition to supporting great causes, Ashley Biden's clothing line is made in America, unlike Donald and Ivanka Trump, who both outsource their clothing lines to China. China.
And then I talked to someone who is the political science chair at DU. He's one of my friends, and he was talking about how him and a lot of other people that he works with, they started working on an act for the right to rest here in Denver. But basically it's an act that's in the works right now that allows being homeless. So whether it be like you don't have a job because you can't get one because of mental illness or whatever, basically it means that you can survive in public spaces if you don't have a job and you're homeless. And so it's not like done yet, but it's in the works, and it's right here in Denver, and it's pretty cool.
Thank you, Joe Salazar and Joe Von Melton, Democratic State Representatives in Colorado. Let's see if this year we can decriminalize homelessness. And those are just a few good things elected Democrats are up to, mostly with a local focus. If you want to look at the battle in D.C., let's tip our hats to Democratic Representative from New York, Jerrold Nadler. He filed a resolution of inquiry to demand information about Trump ties to Russia. Guess who voted it down? The Republicans. What a surprise. Get those clowns out. Last Thursday, Democratic Representative from California and Minority Leader of the House Nancy Pelosi demanded that Attorney General Jeff Sessions recuse himself during investigations into Russian ties. Today, she asserted that Sessions lied under oath during his Senate confirmation. Pelosi, joined by Democratic Senator from Massachusetts Elizabeth Warren, has said the Attorney General must resign. There must be an independent, bipartisan, outside commission to investigate the Trump political, personal, and financial connections to Russia. Thank you, Nancy Pelosi and Elizabeth Warren. Every day we hear the latest evil from the Trump administration and the Republicans. But I'm not going to sit back and accept this false equivalency that all politicians suck, so why bother? Or the Democrats are just as corrupt. Nah, neighbor, friend. There are good people elected to serve who are up to their necks in the mud, working hard and with integrity. Let's shine some light. When you find something good, use the hashtag ThankDemThursday. Also, please like and follow Your Neighbor Speaking on Facebook. Like and subscribe on YouTube. And remember, it's not 4 years. Midterm elections are in 2. I'm Loki, and this is Your Neighbor Speaking.
Okay, hang on, quiet guys.
Oh God, no. I'm Jeremy, and this is Your Neighbor Speaking, and I brought this cute little tin of national embarrassments, and it says they're huge, and that's what I brought forth to the table.
Thank
you.